Alright, so if you saw my Faeries video, the first one that I released after the Eldraine cards came out, you'll notice that there was one missing inclusion, and that was Bitterblossom. So at the time, I actually didn't realize that the bonus set had come out on the same day as the rest of the cards. I had actually thought it was coming out, well, today as I record it. This is Friday the 8th. And basically, I just did not include that in that deck, and I felt like it really should be in there. Since I'd already recorded and released the video, I don't think that I'll do another re-record for Faeries in the near future, but, you know, definitely if you are playing a Faeries deck, would absolutely recommend including Bitterblossom. It is a staple in Modern and an extremely good card when you're playing Faeries. So, do give that one a try. But now that I know that it is in the historic card pool, I did want to go ahead and build around it, though I didn't want to be, you know, redundant and play another Faeries deck. So that's where we've came to today. We are going back to Orzhov Tokens, a deck that I have played in the past, but is seeing some pretty interesting upgrades given this new set. So, basically, what do we want to do here? The name of the game is make tokens. Bitterblossom is going to make us a 1/1 every turn at the expense of 1 life, and this will just help us get a pretty wide board. It'll help us block. It'll help us, you know, ironically stay alive. And it will just generally be good if we can make these tokens better. And there are 2 ways that we can go with token decks. Obviously, we can go wide and we can go tall, and we're going to try to be doing a bit of each here. We've got Wedding Announcements, another really decent card that makes tokens and then eventually flips into an enchantment that buffs all the tokens that we currently have. So that was kind of a no-brainer for this deck. Of course, Intangible Virtue is already being played in token decks. It has been for a while, but we do get the new, well, the relatively new uncommon variant of this, printed here in the Wilds of Eldraine set. And this is another really good card that we want to have in here. Dawn of a New Age is a kind of interesting one. This one is a payoff of having a go-wide strategy where you get a hope counter for each creature you control as you cast the spell, and then we'll be able to remove a counter every turn, or every end step to draw a card until it has no more, and then we just gain 4 life. So this will kind of help offset our Bitterblossom thing, and it'll also pay off for all the tokens that we hope to create. Other ways that we want to deal with our tokens are using Village Rites and Bone Shards, where they will be used as additional costs to cast these cheap spells. We can draw cards and deal with our opponent's creatures, which is great. Bone Shards has the additional utility of being able to discard a card as an additional cost, which occasionally we will want to do because we're trying to run Invasion of Tolvada in this deck, a card that basically allows us to bring something back from the graveyard. And typically this will be a Kaya Intangible Slayer, which is our endgame piece, but occasionally we will want to get our Shieldred and One Rings, these 2 cards that form a pretty solid combo in this format. And once we find those with a Beseech the Mirror, which is another very good synergy that I'll get into in a bit, if we get these into play and they get dealt with, well, we can use Invasion of Tolvalda to loop those back. Same goes for Kaya if she's dealt with as well. And then if Invasion weren't enough, it's also another token producer once we transform it into the Broken Sky after we deal 5 damage to the battle. And once we have this permanent on the battlefield, our creatures get bigger, they get lifelink, and we get another one of them every turn. So this will be absolutely backbreaking once we can get to it. So, you know, we have our top end pretty much here wrapped up into 4 cards, and the mid-range of this deck is essentially just 6 cards, but it represents 5 copies each of Shieldred and the One Ring. Beseech the Mirror is a very, very strong card. You've already seen me play it in mono black, and I really want to see what else is out there for this card's utility. If you have not yet seen the power of Beseech the Mirror, it is a 4-mana mythic sorcery with Bargain that allows us to search our library for a card, exile it so that only we can see it, and then shuffle. And so if we pay the Bargain, which is sack an artifact, enchantment, or token, well, good for us. We're making tokens every turn with Bitterblossom. We have enchantments. We can basically pay for this any which way. We can even sacrifice our One Ring if it's about to kill us. So a lot of ways to cast Beseech the Mirror, but we'll generally want to use that in order to find the other half of our Shieldred One Ring combo in order to just get that onto the battlefield right away so that we can start utilizing it. Additionally, we can also just find our top end killers, even though we won't be able to play them initially. It'll just be good to over the course of 2 turns, kind of sit behind our token wall and then get these into play. So that is one way that we can go about it. And then also Beseech the Mirror can just get one of our other decent enchantments, since it does just say 4 or less. So Beseech the Mirror, very strong card. We have to be playing a lot of black pips in order to do so. So we are running a bunch of dual lands that include like Bright Climb Pathway, so that we can pay for either black or white depending on what we needed at that time. Definitely the goal in here is to try to just land a bunch of permanents and just absolutely clog up the board. We'll have to hope that we don't play against any sweepers here. And with the prevalence of creature decks that we've been seeing lately, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. Okay, well, that is more or less the deck. I hope you guys enjoy this one. Before we hop into the game, subscribe if you are new here and you would like to see more content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We also have the backlog queue of it's the no ban list format that I'm going to be slowly dripping out over the course of the Tuesday and Thursday slots, which I usually don't upload in, but they will be here in order to kind of like drain out the queue that I've amassed, because I do want you guys to see that content even though the format has been closed. With that being said, let's hop to some games. I guess I forgot to say the other part of this, which is that if you're a returning subscriber, do show your support by dropping a like on the video and by commenting whatever you're feeling about this deck. Those things help me a bunch. All right, that's all. Let's hop to some games. Let's see what Bitterblossom can do now that I finally have it in a deck. Okay, here we go. This is round 1. Let's hope for something great. So we actually come with our 2 top-end payoffs and a bunch of lands. I think we're going to mull this one. We want to find something a bit better. This one's interesting. We do have Bitterblossom on turn 2. And then these Village Rites basically just turn into a bunch of different cards. So I'm actually really happy to see this hand. We will just start getting a bunch of black mana here in preparation for our later plays. Now, turn 2, I have to decide between Thoughtseize and a Bitterblossom. We'll see what our opponent plays. They might be on blue-white control, which means that Thoughtseize is a good move. Okay, well now we have double Thoughtseize, so it's a really good move. Let's eat this hand up. This is Mill, actually, which is interesting. So I think Ashiok is bad, definitely. Divine Purge is also pretty bad for us. I think once our opponent gets Jace out, we should hopefully have enough things through Bitterblossom to deal with them. Tasha's Hideous Laughter also kind of sucks. I think I'd rather have Ashiok out of the way. And then we want to take out Divine Purge, I believe. Bitterblossom and Artifact is an enchantment, right? So maybe I can just take one of these other things out. I think Tasha's Hideous Laughter, it is just a one-time thing, so maybe I just take the Planeswalker instead. Yeah, we don't mind about a Divine Purge that much. It's annoying that it kills our creatures, but it's fine. Okay, so we do exile our One Ring here. Okay, 1 Intangible Virtue, 1 Invasion, 2 Wedding Announcements. Okay. Here's Bitterblossom. Go ahead and drop out for a white mana source here. We have 2 black mana sources. 2 basics back in the deck now. Let's hope that Bitterblossom can, lead us the way. Divine Purge doesn't hit anything. This is Leyline of Anticipation, which I'm not super psyched to see. So that means they can actually Divine Purge if I were to do anything with Bone Shards or Village Rites. Okay, we'll pass. Probably just draw 2 here. They just pass turn, makes sense. Village Rites, sacking a creature, we'll draw 2. Now, as long as my opponent doesn't get too many cards in hands, this Leyline will not be terrible. We lose a life, draw a card. I will play it like this, and we could just get a Shieldred out. That plays around Divine Purge. Their other card would have to be a counterspell. Alright, we get a Shieldred. That feels great. We are 2 turns away, land-wise, from a Kai Intangible Slayer. We can deal with a creature with Bone Shards, and we can Village Rites into other action if we don't find anything. Feel good about this. Opponent goes in, they drain for 2. I am slightly worried about Settle the Wreckage if Shieldred were to attack. This is like control mill though. I don't really know what I'm seeing. I think we don't really need to worry too much about any of our stuff being exiled. We'll swing in, and then we also have village rights in case they just do anything weird. Looks like they might try to exile Shieldred. Oh, they just return it to my hand. Okay, that's fine. We will just recast our Shieldred, I think. Sounds good to me. Right, so they will draw into losing 2 life. Love that. We are still gaining 1 every turn through Bitterblossom and Shieldred adding up. We've got the value. We have a Kaya coming down in potentially 2 turns. Hoping that will be backbreaking. Yeah, it looks like that Divine Purge is sitting pretty unused in their hand. Love that. Yeah, oh, here's the Intangible Virtue. That's great. I need to make sure that I have that 4th black source. So here's Intangible Virtue. That could eat a counter spell. No, it does not. We get to go in with 8 damage here. Let's see what they got for me. It's Divine Purge. Okay, so we will go ahead and then Village Rates one of our creatures. We draw 2, gain 2, or gain 4, that is. Dawn of a New Age would be great here, but not quite the move just yet. Opponent still takes 4. We can also just Intangible Virtue, because why not? I really love the wide border full arts on these cards. They look so nice on Arena. Alright, opponent goes to 9. They'll go to 7 here in their draw phase. They'll just pass through the play line, and we will see if we can't just get them dead here. Then I think I'll probably just play Kaya whenever I can to take out the ley line. That will actually be pretty good for me as well. So we make a 3/3 every turn, which is just nasty. Okay, so we have enough for Kaya now. We'll swing in with Shieldred. See how they feel about that. And then actually we just do have Kaya kill. Alright, so Brewback. They will just jump block with that, looks like. Cool. What's happening here? Maddening Cacophony, okay. We go to 11 cards in deck. We can then just take their ley line with my Kaya. And I think we just have the game from here. Alright, so now I have a ley line of anticipation. It is white. And I have a hexproof Kaya. Opponent goes to 5. I think we should be good here, unless our opponent has one last card to mill us out here. It is very possible. They'll have to make their play now. And I also am realizing that it's possible. Oh, no, they're still checking out the board. Sure. Don't know what card they have. At some point, they might just Alt F4. If they do, I'll just edit the video. But let's wait to get our turn back or to win the game. Looks like we probably have it from here. Don't know what my opponent could have. That would be an issue for me. It could be Mass Manipulation, actually. That would be such a weird inclusion in this deck, though. Let's see. They could take Shieldred plus one of my creatures. I would then just Kaya them to death, though. Plus, I would have Bone Shards to deal with my Shieldred. Yeah, I think we were good there. Alright, really strong round 1 there. This is definitely a fun deck, and we immediately got to see the value of Bitterblossom and Intangible Virtue working in tandem. Pretty sweet. Even got the Shieldred and Kaya's out to play. Alright, here comes round 2. Get ready. Okay, here we go. This is our round 2. We do have an early Bitterblossom, but not much other than that. I potentially like the Dawn of a New Age. I kind of want to try this one. We can see if we can get a bunch of Bitterblossoms out early. Okay, we get to go. Alright, here's our Godless Shrine in tapped. Let's get it. Alright, so we're going to get a uncontested Bitterblossom out. Opponent is on Simic, at least to start. Dreamroot Cascade is, okay, so this might be some, this is either Dredge or some control deck. Based on this, I gotta imagine it's Dredge. Okay, so it's Dredge. What do we want to do about Dredge? Not really much other than develop our board with Bitterblossom. Oh, you know what? I can play Dawn of a New Age and then use Invasion of Tolvalda to get it back once I have more creatures. Alright, no hits on the Dredge yet. That's huge. Intangible Virtue will be good. So, I'll play Godless Shrine now. We'll play Intangible Virtue, then turn 4 Dawn of a New Age. And then once that runs out, we'll play an Invasion of Tolvalda to get it back. Intangible Virtue giving our creatures Vigilance is great. I know that I haven't made a video on updated Dredge, but a lot of the Dredge decks will usually run one copy of Wonder, which is a card that while in your graveyard and you control an island, all your things have flying. So the fact that Bitterblossom tokens can fly is going to be super relevant for us. Let's see what happens. Big thoughts on the Otherworldly Gaze here. They might have a card that they want to cast. Might be deciding if they want to keep a land or not. Silver Smoke Ghoul, so they mill all of them. We're getting pretty lucky here. They're really just flopping on their draws. They might go for the Recycler? No, it's just for more Dredge. Okay. So we have a Ghoul. Okay, so they hit nothing, but they do have their, where is it? Hunted Witness. Hunted Witness gets back 1 prized amalgam, 2 prized amalgams next turn. Bone Shards can deal with 1, which is great. Get to swing in here. This is Dawn of a New Age. End turn. Move away one of these. And then this is actually perfect timing because next turn, Dawn of a New Age gets sacrificed. And we will be able to then just get it back immediately with Tolvalda. Tolvalda will be so close to flipping as well. Alright, opponent finally hits something that can come back with a Blood Gas. They can also get Hunted Witness back at any time. They choose to just go turbo with the mill here. I guess it's just because I haven't dealt any damage to them. But, you know, rest assured it's coming. They do leave on top here. Bloodghast comes back, plus multiple prized amalgams. Fine. Alright, so we even get Beseech the Mirror. That's actually pretty strong. Beseech the Mirror can find a Shieldred and or anything else. A One Ring is good. I think a Shieldred's better. Wedding Announcement, how do I feel about that? I could sack my Dawn of a New Age. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything I really feel like sacrificing here. Like, the tokens are just kind of good to have, honestly, as well. We'll find a white source here since we already have the 4 for Beseech the Mirror. So what are my options here? It's either Beseech or Invasion. Nothing that I really want to have here, so let's Beseech killing a token. We already get to go in for 4. We will cast with Bargain, get this, and then the decision is either is it Shieldred or is it a One Ring. I do believe that I like Shieldred. Shieldred also gets to come out and I'll draw with Dawn of a New Age. And turn triggers. We find even another Beseech here, so we actually do get our combo off. That's great. Looks like we're about to go to Value Town here. If our opponent does kill our Shieldred, we have Tolvalda to bring it back. So yeah, I'm really liking where we're standing from here. We can tank pretty much most damage. Here comes Narcomoeba. That's a bit late. We obviously want to see that beforehand. That will trigger nothing as well. I mean, we're definitely just kind of getting... We're on the lucky end of a very difficult time for the Drudge deck. They are having some issues here. We do get to see them ramp up a bit, though. And that is a bit scary. Let's see what happens when a block comes in with Shieldred. We even get to maybe double block with Prized Amalgam, I think. Yeah, this is only a 1-for-1 trade. That feels good. Yeah. Alright. And we will print yet another one of these next turn. There goes Amalgams, for sure. Alright. Also, Kai Intangible Slayer is great. She can start exiling all these creatures that come back. What I'll do right now is go ahead and bargain sacking one of our tokens. We will go ahead and find our One Ring. Bang bang. Shieldred actually cannot be blocked here. Effectively, at least. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait, this can't even block anyway. So yeah, I'll just swing in with both. Even if they do kill my fairy, it is a 2-for-1 trade that I'm happy to make. Alright, so they go for the kill, sure. We will go ahead and do that. I'll just activate my One Ring right now. We have a bunch of Kai Intangible Slayers in hand. Okay. And you know what? I can just set up a Kaya next turn if I Bone Shard something. Let's Bone Shards their Prized Amalgam, I guess. Well, actually, that won't work because at my end step, I believe something's coming back, no? Yeah, they have 2 Prized Amalgam triggers coming back, so it doesn't even make sense to kill that. Bloodghast at least would come in with Summoning Sickness, so I'll just do this specifically for the discarding of a card. And there goes a Kaya to the graveyard. We get to put her into play next turn. We don't care too much about the Prized Amalgams coming back. We just need to deploy some blockers here, keep ourselves alive. Opponent has half their deck in deck so far. Here comes Bloodghast, all that stuff. And it's just Gixen Recyclers next. Okay, here is a land, that's also very good. And we have 6 mana, which means just an Invasion of Tawalda right now. Let's draw our cards first. And we have Tawalda plus Bone Shards. So let's play a Tawalda. We will get back a Kai Intangible Slayer. I will go ahead and exile probably one of the Prized Amalgams. And yeah, sure, that is enough for our opponent to say that they're out of there. That was a pretty impressive game. I'm actually happily surprised with how this deck is showing here as we hop up into Platinum. The Intangible Virtue Bitterblossom is just so much value, and you get it on turn 2, so that's just amazing. We got to double bargain here with our Beseech the Mirrors, really showing how with only 1 copy of Shieldred and 1 copy of the One Ring, it is still very easily accessible. So that is amazing. And yeah, we got our Kaya Intangible Slayer finish. I think we're doing everything that we wanted to do with this deck. So I'm very happy with it so far. Let's hop into round 3 and continue the fun. Alright, here we go. This is our round 3 coming up. We have another Intangible Virtue. Unfortunately, no way to make the creatures for Village Rites or Beseech the Mirror, so that is a problem. I'm going to mull this one. And a Dawn of the New Age and double Thoughtseize is kind of an interesting hand. Opponent keeps 7. So, I mean, if we were to draw the cards that we need, then we do have something going for us. I'll try it. We'll get rid of one of these lands. It'll probably just be the white land, I guess. Let's begin with a search for a black mana source so that we can cast Thoughtseize on turn 2. Actually didn't really consider the fact that this would be a turn 2 Thoughtseize play, but it is what it is. Oh, it's Thoughtseize for Thoughtseize. Well, it's lucky that we don't have any of our important cards in hand. I think they just take a Thoughtseize, and that doesn't really seem great for them. I mean, I don't care if they take my Dawn of a New Age. That thing doesn't matter at all. They could be furiously looking up my deck list. I guess that is an option. They've chosen the Dawn of a New Age. Well, I guess I'll just go ahead and fetch one more black source here. We don't really need that many white mana sources. And I do want to make sure that I can bargain if it comes down to it. Let's see what we have to deal with here. I see a Shieldred, and we have Dreams of Steel and Oil. We'll lose a Kaya, which kind of is annoying. But what I can do is take the Steel now, and then take the Shieldred next turn. That way they don't see my Kaya. Alright, Thoughtseize again. Looks like we just have one choice here. And now that we've hit 4 mana, we can pretty much play any card that we draw. Unless it's another Kaya. Please don't be another Kaya. Or an Invasion. Alright, we find Bitterblossom. That is super good. So now, if our opponent takes a while to set up, that is only going to benefit us. How funny that they have the fairy pet, but I will be the one making the fairies today. Unless they actually play Bitterblossom, who knows? Alright, they make a spirit, they get to go in. It's fine. We get another Thoughtseize. That has to be a land. I have to think that's a land. I'm going to save my Thoughtseize for next turn. Alright, they got 5 mana. What do they do here? It's a Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which I assume they just drew. Yeah, I mean, we definitely block. Tangible Virtue just got really good. And I'll play the Thoughtseize just to see if they have a land. Okay, my call was correct. The Fable seems to be what they drew this turn. And now we just need to find our life gain options. That is the one thing that could do us bad here. Thoughtseize takes our Kaya. We are fine with that. We'll block. Well, we're going to have to block the Den of the Bugbear now. We will take 4. Alright, we have flown pretty close to the sun, and this might become a problem for us. As we go to 4 and make it 2-2. Alright, Beseech the Mirror finds... It could find either one of our combo pieces. I think we just need to take Shieldred. If I took the One Ring, we'd be safe from an attack. But then we'd just die. Let's Beseech the Mirror with Bargain. Now, what do I want to take here? I could lose the creature... Or I could maybe sack either Bitterblossom or Intangible Virtue. I kind of want Bitterblossom. Kind of want Intangible Virtue. If I sack Intangible Virtue, I can still trade with some of this stuff. So I will get rid of Intangible Virtue. We will find a Shieldred. Here's our Shieldred. And I'm hoping this saves us here. Hopefully they didn't find anything useful with their Fable. This will probably make or break the game. Ah, and they do have to go for the throat here, so we will go back down to 2 life here because we have to block the token creator. And I don't think we have a win out of this, actually. We're going to die with Bitterblossom on the stack. Alright, so it is a pretty easy forced block there for us. We go to 2, then to 1 with our Bitterblossom trigger. I think if we get another Beseech, we find our One Ring. One Ring would have to find... Well, One Ring would only just save us a turn. We'd have to draw something here. And yeah, it doesn't really matter. Looks like our opponent with their Rakdos aggro will close it out here. Did we really see anything like super interesting out of this deck? I mean, it was kind of just... I think it was just card draw hate plus a little creatures, right? Shieldred, hand hate, and then creatures out of Soakinzon. Interesting deck. I think they definitely were playing more things than this. I mean, obviously we had the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but looks like kind of just some standard Rakdos control. Okay, so that was our round 3. Pretty strong 2-in-1 start. Let's hop to round 4 and try to do what this deck came here to do. Okay, we're in round 4 here. Let's hope for a good one. We get an early Bitterblossom and Intangible Virtue play, which I think is probably the best thing that I can really be doing with this deck. Okay, so I'll fetch for black immediately. Then we'll be flexible on how we want to play this pathway, depending on if we draw a white source. Oh, this is, what's that combo deck's name? Kethis combo. Okay, so let's start off with our Bitterblossom play, and we'll kill Kinnan next turn. If they have Mox here, that sucks for me. Okay, it's just Oracle of the Alpha. So we kill Kinnan here. They're going to really try to ramp out with these Oracle things. Let's try to make that a bad play for them. It'd be great if I drew a land here. I did not. Do I want an Intangible Virtue, yes or no? I think I just want Kinnan dead. If they draw one of their Mox and they have 5 mana here, they can go... They can just play like a Jace or something. I don't think I'm dead next turn. I could play a second Bitterblossom. Or I'll just do Intangible Virtue. I want to kind of control this life loss until I find my life gain sources. And I guess we do have them technically with Beseech. We just need the mana to do it. They had the Mox Jet that I was hoping that they didn't have. They find Gigantha. Okay. Well, I'll take out Kinnan here because we want to make sure that Gigantha doesn't come in next turn. Alright, we have another 4/4. Just going to have to be Bone Shards here. We will discard probably. We have 2 Wedding Announcements, so maybe I will just do that. Free attack here. Love to see it. This is going to limit my opponent's scrying. Oh, it's in fact Song of Creation instead. This is new tech to me, so we might just be dead. Let's see what happens. So, opponent is playing some number of Kinnans in their deck, and I hope that they'll just hit one. Alright, so this Oracle of the Alpha play was unexpected for sure. They've got all their draws in now. I think they might just have it. Well, let's sit back, relax, and watch the combo here. If you're not familiar with it, the basic gist of it is they will be trying to make a bunch of spells. They're going to try to take a bunch of turns once they have all these oracles onto the battlefield, and then that will generally kill us. Alternatively, sometimes they will play a way to reach into their sideboard, or they'll play like a one of Tendrils of Agony, and then that will kill me instead. We will see. I will not expect to maintain my hand here because they might wheel us. Okay, here's Wishclaw Talisman, which makes me think they are going to be looking for some sort of payoff here. What do they find? They can cast the Tendrils here. I would assume that we're dead. It'll probably be whatever they just played for. Mox Sapphire, could be another turn, who knows. Once I know what they have, I'll just go ahead and edit the video as to not waste your guys' time too much. And they actually go to their end step, so I don't know what they searched for. They had Time Twister, they have Aetherflux Reservoir, that might have been the move. So I think Aetherflux Reservoir is the other kill that people usually go to. We find a land, which means that we maybe go... What, Wishclaw Talisman? I could go find a land. I don't really want to give that back to them, so I'll just maybe play Wedding Announcement. Well, we can't really attack effectively here. I won't bother attacking. This makes my Dawn of a New Age better once I eventually get to cast it. Yeah, we make another 2/2 on the ground. And we'll just have to hope that our opponent can't get out of here with this Strike It Rich. It's possible that they could. I don't know if they play another Aetherflux Reservoir. Our Invasion of Tolvalda is essentially just off right now. Here's another Oracle, that's fine. Now that they have 2, it's pretty likely that they just kill us here. What we really want to be doing is finding our last mana for a Beseech finding Shieldred, and that actually is the one thing that wins us the game. Will they attack in? They just pass, okay. Well, now they're really stuck. We need a land here. We do find a land, so we go ahead and Beseech. Hold up. Oh, we are off in terms of colors. We need 2 more black sources, okay. Well, let's Dawn of a New Age now. This will help us find something. And I think I want to avoid just dying to my own Bitterblossoms, so I will not play another. On their end step, it doesn't really even make sense to use Wishclaw Talisman, since I won't be able to cast this. Oh, I will be able to cast Beseech on their end step. Okay, that's fine. And then, of course, we even have the 1 ring as well. Yeah, okay, this feels good. I will want to find my Shieldred ahead of time, or like I want to cast it as soon as possible, because if they cast their... They must have another Time Twister, right? Down to 36 cards. As long as they don't find Time Twister and I can like maintain a Beseech in my hand, this is fine. The fact that they've whiffed twice in a row is pretty lucky. I would count on them to not miss a 3rd combo turn. Here's Wishclaw Talisman. I don't think they miss now. If I'm them, Wishclaw finds not Ancestral, Time Twister, then they go until they hit their, what is it called? Reservoir. Okay, they find the Reservoir anyway, and then now it's just a bunch of 0 drops and they kill me. Okay, well, I think we were definitely dead there from turn 1. We just got lucky that we got a few extra turns. Shouldn't really have won this one anyway. We could have won this if I had played my Bright Climb Pathway on black. But as I recall, I needed to get that Intangible Virtue online, and I did not have my white land drop until pretty far in the past. Alright, so opponent gets their Time Walk in. That puts them above 50 life, and we are dead if they decide to... make it so. Yeah, multiple extra turns. They got me. Well, we'll let them play out their hand here, and I'll just edit this one out. Yeah, I'll see you in round 5. Alright, and I am dead with the Aether Flux activation. Alright, here comes round 5. Okay, final round, let's go. Let's see what we got coming for us. Yeah, I mean, we get a Bitterblossom. That is good. I think that getting Village Rights is also nice, and then we technically have the white source in order to pay for Wedding Announcement. We go a bit hard into our life total, but the Shieldred that's sitting in our hand could potentially make that okay. Who knows what I'm playing against here? Could be anything. Let's go. My guess is this is probably some sort of ramp deck. Could be playing one of the new dragons. I know those are kind of popular right now. Torch Courier. Is this Hammer? Oh, it could be Imperiosaur. That was a deck from a little bit back. March of the Machines, right? Well, we actually could probably just hit their hand and find out exactly what they're doing. I think that's the move. We'll take 3 damage, not having any blockers. Alright, Seasoned Pyromancer, Collected Company. So definitely not Collected Company. Don't want to see that happen. Still don't know what they're playing. Might just be go wide strategy. If that's the case, probably play Wedding Announcement so I get my creature now. Oh. What? This is also playing Elvish Warmaster? What is happening? How are these in the same deck? I'm confused. Maybe someone's just playing all the cards that they like. Here's Wedding Announcements. We take a damage from the white source, but then we get a token to block. I'm kind of hoping to not. Okay, so I'm kind of hoping to just draw a land here. I can Beseech for a 1 ring and then get Shielder down the next turn. So we just need to stall until that time, basically. Okay, so yeah, opponent's strategy is to just go wide as heck. We'll probably just eat the damage here if they do decide to attack. They don't. They should have just gone in with that War Master. I don't know what's up. Don't draw the land here, so we'll hold up Village Rites. That means we'll play Bitterblossom here, try to get some cards on the board. This is going to go a little bit deep into our life total, though, which is the problem. Village Rites is instant speed, so I'll wait till their end of turn. And we get to make another creature. Pretty soon, Wedding Announcements will flip, and we will be in a much better spot. Okay, so it is Collected Company. Unless there's a combo play here, it's not too bad. Assuming I draw this land. Fierce Empath. Okay, so this is just going right for the Crater Hoof kind of idea. Okay. Well, now I know what to deal with. I know why they didn't attack with anything. They were afraid of losing their War Master, which was not going to happen. Oh, it's Ancient Imperiosaur. Okay, sure. That is actually exactly what I thought we were playing against. Cool. Alright, so they're going to convoke this thing to no end. That's like the max you can get 2020. That's cool. Oh, and they give it haste. No way. That's sick. Alright, so we're just dead to a 2020 Ancient Imperiosaur. What a play. Yeah, no blocks for this one. That thing's got trample and we're hit for 18. Okay, so we end on an L, but I would say that we had a pretty like right off the rip start here with this deck. So I hope you guys enjoyed my version of Bitterblossom tokens. I think that token decks are always fun to play, but honestly they're not the most powerful. I mean, luckily it's the beginning of the season. I'm still ranking up, so we're kind of just chilling around in Platinum, playing against some of the weird brews that are floating around. So felt like I contributed my own today to that fun little cesspool of new decks. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one. And real quick, if you want to support the content, you can subscribe if you're new here, or like the video and comment on it. All those things help me out a bunch. With that being said, that's all from me. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.